Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP_Crow on Twitter posted this, and yeah, it does look like XRP is now sitting in the number 5 spot on CoinMarketCap. He goes on to say, but I'm not worried at all. It's a monster, a sleeping giant. And I know a lot of you guys tend to get a little worried, maybe is the word. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you are looking for other opportunities. Maybe you've lost interest. And I find that there's so much hype on Twitter that people are flitting back and forth between what they're going to invest in, what they're going to throw their money into. Boy, look at this coin. It's got some incredible gains. XRP was doing fairly well a few days ago, and now it's been fairly quiet for the last little while. So XRP sitting in the number 5 spot. And, you know, guys, this is not a race by any means. You know, wherever a cryptocurrency tends to sit on the CoinMarketCap list, that just means that that is what the coin is worth based on supply and based on price. Ultimately, it doesn't mean anything other than, and this is the big caveat here, other than for crypto visibility. This is when people tend to look up cryptocurrencies. What they'll do likely is Google cryptocurrency list in Google or something similar. What will come up first is, cryptocurrency lists like CoinMarketCap. They'll click on that. And if XRP is in that first kind of eye line level for people to see clearly, for people to see and not have to search too much, that is good for XRP price ultimately, because newbies coming into the space, they'll see, well, look, here's a coin that's got some potential. It's affordably priced. It's right here under Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a couple of others. And so in my opinion, that's the only reason I care about XRP being up in the top 5 or top 6 or top 10 or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter for any fundamentals, but in terms of getting that crypto visibility, that's what's going to matter. So it's funny because Cardano now up to number 4 spot. Polkadot is down now around number 6. And Charles Hoskinson here from Cardano says, now that we are surging, expect relentless bile and slander from the Ether maximalists. Heads down, keep building and ignore them. We got a world to restore and there are bigger monsters to slay. And him retweeting out James Spediacci's tweet here, by Cardano? You mean the empty centralized blockchain founded by a guy who was fired by Vitalik for trying to turn Ethereum into a centralized corporate blockchain like Hyperledger so he could become CEO and later try to pull a coup with Ethereum Classic? Nah. Charles Hoskinson sounds like a stand-up guy, just in terms of personality. You know, we put crypto aside for a second. He sounds like a stand-up guy. He sounds like a very intelligent individual as well. And so if you aren't following him on Twitter, he is an interesting person to follow. As you can see here, I'm not following him on Twitter either, but I am going to follow him. I do tend to see his tweets quite a bit in my feed anyway, just because other people I follow tend to retweet him quite frequently. Because he's also had positive things to say about XRP, you know, due to this lawsuit, right? Because we're all in this together ultimately. Cryptocurrency is going to go one way or another based on the XRP lawsuit. And Hoskinson has come out and said, he doesn't think XRP is a security today. He thinks that, at one point in time it could have been considered a security or maybe treated like a security, but today it's very, very clear that there's a utility to that token, so on and so forth. He has put out, his opinion on this, and this isn't a tribal quest to reign supreme. We all know that cryptocurrencies are going to work together in this market, and if you invest in something during a crypto bull run, chances are you are likely going to succeed. The question is, what coin? And so I did a video yesterday, and it was one of my worst performing videos in the last little while, yet I feel like it was one of the most information-filled videos I've done in a while with regards to investing in cryptocurrencies specifically now, since we have seen bullish momentum for the space. This is the total 2 altcoin market cap, and you guys can see here, I outlined this in yesterday's video. Of course, we have all seen gains. Bitcoin as well has seen significant gains over the last little while, and yet people are following the hype on Twitter. People are being shilled coins all the time. And, 9 times out of 10, these coins have already pumped in price. I thought I'd do a video yesterday talking about why I thought certain coins would do better than others. This is the thumbnail here, guys. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys want to catch it. And yet, it didn't do as well as some other videos that I have posted in recent history. So, I don't know why. I mean, information-packed videos that might not fit with the narrative that you believe tend to maybe, lose people somewhere down the line. That's okay. It's there if you guys need it. I'm not bitter. We do have to look at the crypto market today because there's, you know, despite what's going on here, let me bring up XRP real quick on the daily. Despite what's going on, you know, we are actually not sitting, XRP holders are not sitting too poorly considering where we could be right now. Let's put this on the hourly. And ultimately, guys, we're just kind of hugging this 0.236 level for XRP. Again, this is XRP on the hourly chart. And if I bring up the Fibonacci, you guys can see here the 0.236 level, that line there. XRP is just hugging that line quite tightly, as a matter of fact. So we aren't going lower than that. I mean, we have dipped down a few times a little lower, but ultimately bounced right back up to find some critical support there at about 43 cents. Now, I did a video the other day talking about closing out that weekly candlestick above 42.5 cents. And I mean, if we stay on track, if we're doing as we're doing right now, chances are we could do that. So that could ultimately also be a good sign, a bullish sign for continued future momentum. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch that. 42.5 would bring us right here. Okay, so that is support. That is support that we found. If I zoom in here, you guys can see that after this dip last weekend, the resistance held up here. Then we were falling under resistance, kind of trending upward for the remaining portion of the week. Of course, we did pump up here, and now we are having a hard time getting below that level. Even when we do get below that level, we are popping back up. So positive signs for XRP hodlers. The entire space is looking good. You know, ultimately, even though Cardano is now above XRP in terms of market cap, XRP is still holding on at number 5. And you guys saw how fast it shot up to number 3, right? When we saw that movement, when we saw that volume get pumped into XRP, it shot up to number 3 very, very quickly. Forget the hype on Twitter, guys. Forget the hype on TikTok or wherever else you get your crypto information. Follow fundamentals, because this is where you'll really thrive. Mike Novogratz here saying that he predicts Bitcoin rally will extend into 2022, and he gives information why as well. He says we're kind of past the Rubicon, if you will. We're over the hill. The network effect of this is really taking off. And what I'm really convinced of is we're still really early on in the adoption cycle for big institutions. You haven't seen the big banks come out with their offerings yet. Let me tell you with certainty, they are coming. So Mike Novogratz here, you know, suggesting that this $42,000 price tag for BTC is just the beginning. And sure enough, we are coming down a little bit, and we could still see some sideways movement for Bitcoin. It was getting exciting yesterday when we saw Bitcoin rally up again to about $40,000. Now it's coming back down, but Mike Novogratz says with certainty that the big institution offerings are coming, and they haven't come yet. I will be really surprised if Bitcoin is not higher this year and higher the year after that. As Bitcoin continues on its extended run, the Galaxy Digital executive highlights key factors driving the growth in the leading crypto asset. He says the beer flu changed everything with the macro backdrop of hard assets, and Bitcoin is so well developed, created to be a hard asset that the adoption curve accelerated. Paul Tudor Jones looked at it and said, wow, this really does work as a hard asset. It's the single largest distributed asset ever outside the dollar, and you've got this community building that's going on, telling the story of why it's important. Novogratz also revealed the current makeup of Galaxy Digital's crypto portfolio. He says right now we're probably 70% Bitcoin, 25% Ethereum, and 5% DeFi, so decentralized finance. That feels to me about the right risk-adjusted and volatility-adjusted profile. So, of course, in crypto, that looks like a very conservative profile. Of course, if you're talking about specifically about cryptocurrencies, some people might look at that and be like, whoa, man, you're crazy. You are crazy putting all your clients' money in cryptocurrency. Of course, Galaxy Digital crypto focus. So some things to think about there. We also have this, guys, from XRPCRYPTOWOLF. There are only 14.5 million Bitcoin in circulation. And despite the fact that technically the circulating supply, if you look over here, for Bitcoin is over 18.6 million. That is the amount of the Bitcoin that has been mined, all right? Apparently, there are only actually 14.5 million Bitcoin in circulation because there are some Bitcoin that have just been lost forever. So this will also make way for higher prices because of the scarcity of Bitcoin. So blockchain analytics firm Coinmetrics has released a new metric which is supposed to give a more realistic representation of Bitcoin circulating supply. According to the major cryptocurrency aggregators, there are 18.6 million Bitcoin in existence. However, as Coinmetrics points out, many coins are lost and not available to the market anymore. This led the researchers to create a so-called free float supply, something they believe gives a more realistic representation of the market's Bitcoin supply. According to the metric, this number is currently standing at 14.5 million. And so here's the tweet from coinmetrics.io. It is widely understood that whilst there are 18.6 million Bitcoin in existence, there are many that are lost and not available to the market anymore. That is why we've created the free float supply, a more realistic representation of the market's Bitcoin supply. And so how do they get that number? Not entirely sure. This means that roughly 3.9 million BTC that are supposed to be in circulation have been wiped out. Of course, we've heard of stories of people losing their private keys or people not giving up their private keys, Bitcoin being seized, not being able to be accessed, people leaving their Bitcoin on a hard drive, it going into a landfill, so on and so forth. You can also see Bitcoin on the blockchain and see that if it hasn't moved in a while, it could be lost. I mean, that is not necessarily a 100% certainty, but indeed, maybe they're taking in some of these factors into consideration when they're making these claims. So the true circulating supply, or at least what they're basing on with their free float model, is 14.5 million BTC in the space. Guys, I will leave this article down here in the description of the video if you want to read further. Just wanted to give you guys a sense of, crypto markets heating up. Of course, we know this has been the narrative for the majority of 2020 and definitely into 2021. Finally, XRP had seen some movement, and now XRP sitting flat. But if we do close above that 42.5 cent candlestick for the weekly, chances are bullish momentum will likely, hopefully, fingers crossed here. I know I'm crossing my fingers, you guys can't see that. Hopefully move to the upside yet again. The SEC lawsuit is still pending. We're going to get our first date on that, February 22nd. So it is quite possible that we could hear some good news coming out of that. An XRP price, although we want it to explode, could at least perhaps catch up to the rest of the market. Let me just bring up the total to market cap right now. Even if we were on average to where the total altcoin market is for XRP, so the total altcoin market right now trading at about 1,100, about 1,088% above where it was after that crash in March. If we could get the average, just the average, and I know there are overperformers in this market in terms of altcoins, but even if we were to just get the average, give or take, it would bring us up here, so roughly 1,088%. Which would bring us to a price tag of $1.34, or rather $1.35 per XRP. That wouldn't be too shabby, would it? When being interviewed, we never really hear, the CEOs or anybody who work at Ripple, we never really hear them call out a specific price or where that price needs to be. We always seem to get hints, and that seems to be the only thing we ever get. When Brad Garlinghouse is asked, where could you see XRP price in the future? And he constantly says, the price of any token will, be derived from the utility that it has, or rather, if it solves a problem, it will be valuable. Something along those lines. He never will call out or predict or say where he thinks XRP should be, which is kind of frustrating for XRP holders, I got to admit. And so I was on Twitter and recently just saw this from David Schwartz. So he writes this: years ago, XRP hitting 25 cents for the first time was an excuse for a party. Someone had wristbands made up to give out at the party. Today, my grandkids were walking along the beach and spotted a piece of green rubber floating. What are the odds? And so this looks to be a Ripple XRP 25 wristband. that has washed up on shore. And so when David Schwartz says years ago they threw a party for XRP hitting 25 cents, that is an interesting comment to me. Valjester Locke says, with the 25 and all signs XRP moons the 29th of February, screenshot this. I'm teasing, guys. I just want to have fun. You know, a lot of us in the space just want to have fun with this. James Rule XRP here saying, hey, David, will there be a party when we hit $1? And whenever it is, throw it at a 99-cent store. Alex Cobb saying XRP $25 confirmed. You know, people are kind of having a little fun with this. Massimo here, that's 25 cents. The Cryptic Poet calculating the odds. So people are commenting on David Schwartz's bizarre little story here, and it just got me thinking this. Let me just read the first sentence again. Years ago, XRP hitting 25 cents for the first time was an excuse for a party. Yeah, they were partying because XRP rose and hit a certain price. Now, here's my thinking. If Ripple didn't actually care what the price was going to be for XRP, if they could utilize it, and I mean they can utilize it, at any price point, why would they actually throw a party if it hit 25 cents? If they didn't care what the price needs to be. In my eyes, this looks almost like a milestone for the company. Well, it was a milestone at that time, you know, when XRP was trading here. You can't see it here, but let me bring up the Poloniex chart here on TradingView. If I bring up the Poloniex chart, you get a little bit more detail. And so for much of 2017, well, most of 2016, basically all of 2016, XRP was trading under a cent. And then sure enough, by 2017, it rose to 3 cents. And then this pump here occurred on the chart, bringing it up to this 25-cent mark. It actually went up as high as 43, where we're sitting right now, and then down and around here, okay, vacillating between 12 cents and 30 cents, give or take. And so Ripple decided to have a party at this 25-cent mark. Let me remind you that there was another instance back in 2019 when a member of the XRP community was talking to David Schwartz, and he mentioned this on Twitter. I did a video on this around the time that was being talked about. I'll try to find that. I'll see if I can link that up here in the top right-hand corner. But he said he had a conversation with David Schwartz at Swell 2019 and basically kind of asked him, look, does the price of XRP need to be high in order for you guys to facilitate what you want to do? And David Schwartz said, you know, ultimately the price does need to be high and it needs to get there very, very fast. And so apparently, allegedly, of course, I was not there. So this is just taking this member of the XRP community's word for it, who was at Swell with David Schwartz. There is confirmation of that. He says the price needs to rise to a certain price and it needs to happen like that. The reason for it is because of what's happening right now, okay? With price instability, with a spec market, with a bull run going on, people will start to see price rise and then they'll jump on a coin, keep pumping money into it, pushing it higher than it organically would need to be, and then price just comes crashing back down. And when the client sees this, they lose confidence because they see, hey, this is what we're going to use. How can we use it if there's this kind of price instability? The price rallies, then it dumps. So David Schwartz basically said to him, it needs to be high and it needs to be stable. So this 25-cent XRP party, although maybe doesn't seem like a big deal right now, because we're above 25 cents. Ha ha ha, XRP reached 25 cents back in 2017. Let's throw a party. What do you think Ripple's true motives are for XRP price? And how soon do you think we'll get there? I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.